It is Thursday. That's recovery day for us because we had a blast for Chico's birthday last night. But we got a lot to discuss. Candace Parker headed to the Hall of Fame. Austin Reeves does it again for the Lakers with a buzzer beater. And of course, Adam Munster, since it's about to be Halloween, is joining us to break down the bus. It's the morning run.
Runner, mount up. It is the morning run. Uncle Neely, Big Dog Chico, Dukes, the damn scoop. Checking in. We're here live and direct, 10:30:25. That's a Thursday, and we're live. I'm trying to recover and get back right. So y'all pray for your dog tonight. Hey, man, wherever y'all
Pray for
checking in from, put
Chico,
it in the
doggy
chat.
dog.
Put it in the chat.
Chico,
Let me know where you're representing from. Appreciate all the birthday wishes on my 67th. Thank y'all.
Chico, what you do last night? Because you told me we were going to do a reaction show. They didn't hear from
Nah, I couldn't even.
you. You got in the streets, didn't you?
Not
You
really.
got some sand. You got some sand between your toes.
I'm just gonna say I had fun. I'll say that I had fun, enjoy some time.
I bet you did.
That's all it is, So I'm good. I'm damn near recovered right now. And I'm ready to get it cracking. I have no idea what happened in sports last night, so y'all let me know as I get updated. What happened in sports last night, Unc? What you saw?
I thought you were about to say until you get lubricated.
I'm gonna get lubricated. It's just what happened last night.
Your
Like you
Lakers
said,
won. Your
Lakers.
Lakers beat the Timberwolves.
Oh yeah, you know what? I did see some of that, and I saw where Anthony Edwards was on the bench, and they had a new Laker, Jake I can't even say his name, Lavaria out there, and he wears
Mhm.
number 12, and the crowd was chanting, "Who's number 12?" Or somebody said, "Who's number 12?" And Edwards, who's on the bench, he did like this. Who actually playing against the man? He did like this. I'm trying to figure that out too. I don't know. So AE just be on the sideline wilding, dog. Shout out to him. But yeah, the Lakers did do their damn thing. And that's what we need to do, man. We just need to beat the hell out of the Timberwolves. They're not even good enough this year. I think they're going to be underachieving this year, the Timberwolves. Uh-oh. Unc went in and out. So y'all know what time it is. Guess what time it is? Guess what time it is? It's my time. Unc gonna get right. Duke's gonna get right at some point. But until they do, y'all know what time it is. Y'all make sure y'all go to bet or mybookie.ag and bet with us and use our promo code. The promo code is TMR. That stands for the morning run. As you can see right there, those three, I almost said good looking brothers. I just say three brothers. All right. Bet with us on mybookie.ag. Promo code TMR, where you can bet, win, and get paid. You understand me? I said bet, win, and get paid. You understand?
He ain't lying.
So make sure y'all get on there, join on, get with me. I'm on there now, making some bets. I should have betted on the Lakers last night. I didn't, but I might bet on them tonight. So first off, shout out to everybody in the chat: Scorpion Queen, C Maven AI, Lethal Gaming, INC, Sabrina Blankenship, Miss Dawn Duncan, AB, Aretha Burton in the building. We got Von Randall up in here. Hey man, we got a lot of people in the chat today. So let's see what Uncle Neely talking about once again. See if he can get his Wi-Fi straight up in that thing. What's up? You good,
Man,
Unc?
look, I was on the show kicking it with my guy Chico, and I love when people that love me call me during the live show, which just let me know they're not watching the show.
Call during a live stream as if they don't know.
Yeah. So I had to go put the phone
Hey
on
man.
do not disturb. Like put it on do not disturb, Chico. Put it on focus or whatever it's called. Like, why are you calling me right now?
Yeah. Hey, I see you on live.
Yeah, thank you.
You
Say it
just
in the
messed it up.
chat.
think you still going in and out, Unc. It could just be me on my end. I'm not sure if the audience is seeing that, but it is kind of stopping on my end. I don't know why. Dorkin said, put in the chat the name uh, of a mafia family that Chico would be involved in. Y'all let us know in the chat right now.
The
Shout out to Mr.
Buttafuoco's.
B. Damn.
Chico Buttafuoco.
I can't laugh. The Buttafuoco. All right. Hey, man, I saw today on Twitter. As a matter of fact, I should pull it up, but shout out to Shedeur Sanders. A lot of people talking about Shedeur and as if they're surprised that Shedeur is not coming based off what he said on his live streams. He's not coming to the CU homecoming game. He said, I got to get ready, big ready, Shedeur Sanders says, and staying in Cleveland during the bye week to get treatment and to get, quote unquote, big ready, as he said. Status quo for Shedeur Sanders, or what are you thinking on that tip, Uncle Neely?
Well, I'm going to still hold to the bet that I wagered all the way back in June, July, is that his time would come after the bye week. And so I've always felt that that was going to be the case. No matter how many times the Browns have messed this up along the way, with the preseason and that kind of thing, or a lack of reps with the ones during practice, I thought his true opportunity would come. Now, and keep in mind, that was without trading Flacco. I thought that when I said that in June, July, that if they still had Flacco at one, it would take to about the bye week for them to recognize that Shedeur is legit to two. And then it would take about to the bye week for them to realize that Shedeur gave them a better opportunity than Flacco. Well, Flacco, since that time, got traded. And I think it's still evident that compared to Dylan Gabriel, that Shedeur is the best quarterback on the team. And sometimes it takes a moment for people who ain't that bright to come to their senses. So I would hope to see him soon. And if that's not going to happen, I hope they would trade him before the trade deadline comes.
We talked about this, constantly on this show, back and forth ad nauseum, as they would say. And Saints are struggling at the quarterback position. A lot of other teams struggling. We saw the Raiders struggle. I think Geno was throwing like 4 picks in the ball game. Ask this question again: where's that spot you would like to see him traded to, Unc? If
Anywhere
any.
there's not anywhere there's going to be a true opportunity. He
I
can
agree.
stay in Cleveland if it's going to be a true opportunity. I do think that there are teams out there that have a drastic need. And the interesting thing, the head scratching thing, those are the same teams that could have drafted him in the first place.
Yeah, man.
Still, the outside of the Steelers, who of course behind the scenes, were working something with Aaron Rodgers, which they still could have gotten a Shedeur for the future because Aaron Rodgers is not going to give them but 1 or 2 years. Outside
Mhm.
of that, when you had the Raiders and the Saints come up, their need was clear at the time, and it's only become more clear and evident since then.
Yeah.
So they could have hopped in front of that situation a long time ago, meaning the draft.
Absolutely, man. So, hey, we're just gonna hold down Shedeur Sanders as we do over here. And when the time comes, when the opportunity comes, he's gonna be ready for it. As he said, he's staying back to get big ready. And that could mean anything. That could just mean he's trying to get really ready. Could be he might know something where they're saying that, you're gonna be playing coming soon. So just make sure you get ready. Whichever way it is, I think it wouldn't change Shadeur's mindset or whether he would be in Colorado as opposed to Cleveland or not. I think he would have still been
Yeah,
able to get.
that's what I'm hanging my hat on. Like I'm only can go by what I've seen the past 5 years out of him.
Mhm.
When has he ever gone somewhere and kicked it for a bye week? So to me, clearly he would have information that we wouldn't have before we had it. I mean, hell, it's him. But even outside of that, he's just doing what he would do. He's a workaholic. Like he's ultra focused during the season and hella focused in the off season. So I'm not surprised at all. You look at like even his dad, Coach Prime. Coach Prime's commute from the office home is probably about 30 minutes, right?
Mhm.
So back and forth, that's an hour. There are some days, not just since this Utah loss. There are some days he doesn't go home. He just sleeps in the building because he don't want to lose an hour worth of work.
Right.
And
I think you
you
just
put
said that,
yourself in
right?
Shedeur's shoes. You get on a plane. I don't care if it's a charter plane. You get on a plane, travel to Colorado, deal with Denver traffic, get to the. Do you know how much time you lost?
The logistics of it, all those things. Like people don't understand. They ask me the same thing. Why you not in Colorado? Why you not here? Because and you know how much time it takes to get there and get back. It's about do I want to
Do literally the same content.
basically, it's just that you're gonna see things and be in a certain place. Like if you've seen, well, listen, just know that I'd rather be right here than doing that traveling and flying across the ocean, when I can. If I could stay right here and do it, I would stay right here and do it. I could see Uncle Neely's face
Absolutely.
and he don't have to get soup flex, and I don't have to worry about him trying to press no charges. We could talk to Adam right here as he comes in, without any problem. So
About that.
I,
I'm trying to. I was with you, right?
he was with me.
I'm
Why
riding.
did I lose
I'm
you?
not. I'm riding in the car with you. I'm on the passenger seat, and I'm nodding my head because
Okay.
you preaching. Where did we get to suplex to be? Where did that come in at?
That's that's gonna happen. It has to happen. But we got this big ocean between us, so we friends.
Yeah. I thank
What's up,
God for the
Adam?
ocean.
Thank God
What's
for
up,
the ocean. Yeah.
guys? Yeah, good to be on with you again.
Adam,
Appreciate you, Adam.
Chico's birthday was yesterday, and my Chico meter is just about full. You talk to him. I can't deal with him today.
Well, I gotta say that
My Chicometer is overloaded.
you
Bad
guys
enough?
were talking NBA early on, and I gotta say I'm proud of ESPN for the first time in a long time. It seems like they've made the right decision of letting inside the NBA be inside the NBA, and some of these days where you work 10, 12 hours and you just want to like lay down and just get some recap of NBA basketball and kind of have that entertainment standpoint of it. It's really cool that they've been allowed to do the same thing because I'm a Celtics fan and Austin Reeves fan too, man. That was a hell of a shot last night. So it's cool that they're allowed to continue to do their things without being handcuffed by ESPN. I was worried about
Absolutely.
that.
I was too, but they luckily didn't try to fix something that wasn't broken. And I've also enjoyed on the Saturdays or the other weekdays what NBC has been able to do with Tarico and their coverage. The only thing I got to say, and I'm probably the one wrong here, Chico, but I doubt it. The way they hyped up this Michael Jordan was coming to join the
Oh
desk
my
and talk
gosh.
basketball. They lied to me, man. That's not what this is. Like he's just sitting down in his house with Tarico, and they talk for about, I guess, 2 hours in August, and they're feeding us about 6 minutes of it every halftime. That's not what I was told during the summer was going to happen. So I'm a little disappointed in that, Adam.
Well, I don't know if I would have made it through the early part of the COVID pandemic without The Last Dance. That was like one of those things where I was just like counting down the hours till that came on. At that point, just so starved for sports coverage. But yeah, no, we just probably need to let Michael Jordan just kind of fly off in his jet wherever he's going and do his thing and take what we can get there. But at least some of the snippets from that segment have been pretty awesome in terms of just him talking about kind of the newer generation and load management. And I agree more with Michael because I'm 46 years old, but I'm sure some of the younger folks think that the newer way of doing things is right. But Michael was he was the GOAT, man. He really was.
Yeah.
Can I point something out about Chico to the runners out there? Do you see how easily Adam stated his age? And just worked it right into the conversation. I'm 40. We can't find out what year Chico graduated from high school. He just had a birthday. We don't know how old he turned. Like Adam, he
I just said
refuses to.
I said before the show started. I said it was my 57th birthday. You
But
didn't hear
we
that.
know, but we know you're not 57 though.
Man, well, I
So let
appreciate
me
it. I
change
appreciate the
it. We get an
compliment.
answer out of him. We just get a lie.
here's the thing, man. And we talking about what were we talking about?
We're talking about
We talking about
linebacker
Michael
ages
Jordan.
right now.
We talking about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. Let me say this because I'm glad you brought that up. Did y'all really think that he was going to be like do what Tom Brady is doing and be there and analyzing the game? Okay, because if you think about it, he would have had to been on the court, standing up on the court, the pregame, sitting down, calling the game throughout the game, then do a post game. Like, think about it. Like, did we really think Michael Jordan was going to invest that much time into a regular season basketball game, multiple ones? I think Michael Jordan was going to be able to sit anywhere for multiple hours calling a game without smoking a cigar, without being him, without relaxing, without having to get up and go take a pee, which he probably has to do as a certain age of a man right now. I didn't believe that he was going to be there. And then the fans, who going to let Michael Jordan come in and come out of these stadiums around the country? I didn't think it was going to be that from the get-go. If it was, I thought it was going to be a mistake because at his stature, him commenting on a player, I think he has to criticize that player. So now you have a guy who people are looking up to forever, and now they're criticizing them. I think that could diminish where he is as far as GOAT status. Like, he doesn't need to do that. So I think that's whatever he's doing right now is the best thing that they could have done with him. They might need to just update it throughout the season. Other than that, I think that's all they're going to get from Michael Jordan. So I agree with you on that part, Uncle Neely.
Once again, you have expertly defended a case that was not the charge. I love your ability to do that, Chico. Someone get charged with murder, and you make a perfect statement of why they shouldn't be charged with jaywalking. You are a great statesman, but it's bullshit because that's not what we're talking about. Here's
Adam,
the thing, man.
I'm sorry,
Here's
Adam.
the thing. Here's the thing. All I'm saying is the way NBC hyped this thing up across the summer, did I think he would be doing sitting there calling a full game like Tom Brady? No. But I did think that every so often, particularly for big games, that he would come in remotely with some commentary about that game
Remotely,
versus
yes.
what we have been sold. What we got was something that's pre-recorded. So it's not going to be new opinions or updated stuff because this stuff is already in the can. So it's cool now because, he's talking about load management, but he answered that question in August. So we're going to be watching this in January, and it's going to be August quotes. I wanted, or I was led to believe, that this was going to be of a more of a MJ right now thing. I didn't think he'd be sitting there for 3 hours a night on the desk like Chuck and them. Didn't think that at all. But we could get a little more fresh than what we're getting right now. That's all I'm saying, Adam.
Yeah, you guys are brothers from a different mother, but you guys act like you're brothers from the same mother on this show, and it's great. It's great content. You guys.
I'd have whooped Chico's ass every day if we grew up together.
But so with Chico, I would say I kind of want the allure of Michael Jordan to still exist, and I think the more he talks, Chuck Charles Barkley is a different standpoint. Like, he's just always been that guy from day one. Shaq, similar deal. Like, he's just always put himself out there. Michael's been more reserved because he's had to kind of go into a shelter for most of his life because he's been too darn good and too darn famous. But at the same time, I didn't know that they had billed it as something that was going to be fresh coming for these games. I've been so nose to the ground with Colorado football, and I love just being able to tune into basketball, escape. And so I didn't know that was the expectation set forth. If that was the expectation that they were promoting, then that is wrong as well. So I'm going to straddle the fence between you guys, but I enjoy the back and forth.
Hey, that's what we're here for. We're here for back and forth, and try not to use words like straddle around Chico. It'll get you in trouble.
It'll get you in trouble to get Uncle Neely excited. That's all. Get him to rubbing some over here like this. But anyway,
strap on Chico is what they call him.
Let's just keep talking about other things other than Colorado football right now. That would be great. Let's keep doing that.
No, we don't talk Colorado football. We're going to get there. And matter of fact, what a pivot. You just planted your foot and went upfield with it right there, Adam. I tell you this, man, you
Adam said, "Get
almost
me
have
out of here."
almost have some reluctancy in talking about how great practice has been this week, because the last time we talked about how great practice has been, it was 43-0 at halftime. But in the words of Coach Prime, just this morning at the team meeting, he couldn't be more enthused, more excited about this team and their ability to flush it and bounce back. These guys have really been working this week, focused on Arizona, very detail oriented, intense practices. Today was a padded physical practice, with red zone stuff and 2-minute drill stuff. So I will say this, man, I will echo what Coach Prime said from my vantage point. Just being here and seeing what these guys did from a work standpoint this week, I think they have crossed that that line in the sand where the true belief internally is this team is truly more like the team you saw against Iowa State versus the team you saw Utah. Let's go out there and prove it Saturday at Folsom Field.
Yeah, there's been some litmus test games on the schedule for different reasons this season. This is a litmus test game for this program, right? I think going against Arizona on homecoming weekend after what happened last week, and you never want to say you want to lose 53-7, but there might have needed to be just a wake-up call for this football program. We've been hearing about certain guys stepping up as leaders, just not as much across the board as you would like, especially with a group that has so many seniors on it. And you take a butt whooping like that. I mean, that is, as Coach Prime said, I think both at halftime and after the game, that's a look yourself in the mirror type of situation. And yeah, I mean, if they lose by 1 point out at Utah, it's still the same on the record. What does it do in terms of a motivation standpoint? It could go south though too if you don't have those leaders stepping up and making sure that this is a group that's going to bounce back from that. But man, like if they come out Saturday flat at Folsom Field, I will be really surprised, because I don't think the belief has lost the locker room at this point. Now you lose Saturday and then you got to worry about that, but they're still kind of the goal in front of you. But man, it was tough to stomach that, Neely. None of us enjoyed Saturday out in Salt Lake City. I'll tell you that.
No, man,
You didn't
as early
take
as
that
the
trip.
Utah fans were leaving, I don't think they enjoyed it either. Like, they wanted something better than that, because it was not a competitive game at any phase of the game or at any moment of the game. You're talking about they scored on the second play of the game, and I just checked before we started the show. They just scored again, so it hadn't stopped. It's still going, and it's one of those historic whoopings, Adam. Like, people will be talking about that game every time these two institutions play each other. They're going to, wax poetically back on their side, at least, to that 2025 when Colorado came to their stadium and got those numbers put on them. So, but I do think as far as this team goes and what's left in front of it, we started the year, not the season. We started the calendar year with the goal being going to the Big 12 championship in Dallas. We know that that's no longer in front of us. That mathematically will not happen. But the floor for this team, this organization, the talent with these players, the talent of the staff, I think the floor has always been the bowl game. And as you encroach an area where you put yourself in danger of even missing that, then you really have to look in the mirror and talk about what things you're going to do differently going into that next season. But first things first, you have 4 games left. You need 3 of those 4 to become bowl eligible, and the first one is at home. What better one to go ahead and notch the first one than the one in front of you that's your homecoming on your home field?
Yes, sir. Well, hey, homecoming. What would be the difference? Like, how is homecoming on HBCU wise compared to Colorado wise, and what are some different things you might see homecoming week, Adam, up at CU?
He asked both of us a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Neely first. I asked your question first. Adam, you can come after that. Great. I got to lay it out.
I'll tell you, man, from a football team perspective, there is no difference. Because back at Jackson State, the team ain't tripping on it being homecoming. It's the same preparation and work ethic that you put in, for any game. And the same thing here. I haven't heard a guy in the locker room mention, we got to do this and that. It's homecoming. Like, no, we got to win. If this was an exhibition, so you don't see that having an impact, inside as far as preparation goes. I think that that is something strictly for the fans to get motivated for and come back and cheer a little harder. I'll say, Chico, from a campus kind of standpoint, in fairness to the CU atmosphere, I only come one way into campus, and that's directly toward the athletic building. So I can't speak to what the buzz is, on campus. But in the HBCU space, like the city is telling you it's homecoming, like you see banners everywhere and that kind of thing leading up to it. But I've noticed that even when we travel and play people such as Utah for their homecoming, you just don't see that same kind of fervor about it, like say at the HBCU, and you certainly don't see it within the locker room because no one's talking about, oh, this is military weekend, this is friends and family weekend, this is homecoming weekend. It's the next game up, and this is a game that we have to win.
Yeah. In terms of on the field results, I mean, homecoming weekend doesn't really have a big impact. In fact, I would say that family weekend at CU has traditionally had a little bit more of a buzz, just more people on campus during that week. Homecoming's a great opportunity for folks to come back and kind of relive their memories. But this year, though, guys, Peggy's going to be the grand marshal. So that kind of maybe changes the whole dynamic, right? And Coach Prime mentioned it at his Tuesday press conference that you can't go out there and lay an egg with Miss Peggy being the grand marshal. So that's I'll say it's different this year because of that.
And Adam, one of the things you said, I have noticed in my 3 seasons here, that family friends weekend is probably more of what homecoming is like in the South.
Okay.
Versus homecoming where it's more alumni focused. So I agree totally with you on that from an energy standpoint.
Yeah. Well, hey, game getting ready to pop off, man. Give us some keys to victory, if y'all don't mind. I won't ask for your predictions yet. I know you're gonna give your predictions later on, maybe for tomorrow or something like that. So give me some keys to victory for Colorado.
It's simple for me, Adam. We got to tackle. I don't think there's anything schematically wrong with the playbook. I don't think there's anything where we're just devoid of talent compared to the opponent. I think one of the most glaring things that we do a poor job of is tackling, particularly open field tackling. Because I always said, Chico, that if the scheme was bad, you wouldn't even be in a position to touch the guy. But the fact that 2 or 3 people are touching him as he goes up the field, that lets me know we're in the right place. You just got to make the tackle. Of course, it's going to go back to the old coach's manual. Don't turn the ball over or turn it over as less than they do. And 1 or 2 takeaways would not hurt us as well. One of the things that we also have to just bounce back on, Adam, we got to be more of the special teams, the previous games that we were at Utah. The special teams has probably been the most consistent unit of this team from week 1 to before Utah. And then Utah, it looked like the other phases of the game that night. So we got to get special teams back in order, maybe even get a score off special teams. Q for 6 has been right there. Farrakhan has been right there as far as breaking one. And I think if you can get a score on special teams and tackle better on defense, you win this game.
Yeah, got to get a bounce back effort from the O-line. And, it hurts Xavier Hill's not going to be in the lineup there. And so you probably, I don't know, do you put Kareem Harden in there to replace him, or I don't want to put you on the spot. I'm just, no, you've got some capable guys there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think it's a game feel. The guy that starts it may not be the guy to finish it, because one thing that was absolutely fixed on this team during the offseason was not only upgrading talent in the trenches, you upgraded the depth too. And that's a good problem to have as you go into November and somebody's hurt, that you got 1 or 2 guys, and you've even developed some guys that play multiple positions across that line. So before I just hang my hat on one particular guy, I think you'll see 2 before the night is over.
Okay, got it. And defensively, this is a game for the secondary to really shine. And we've seen Preston Hodge get better, and he leads the Big 12 and passes defended at this point. After some really tough calls that went against him early in the season, and he's continued to battle. DJ McKinney has continued to get better. This is a game where you want that other second corner to really step up as well. Tion Parks and RJ Johnson are both listed as probable, I believe, if memory serves, going into this game. And so against Noah Fafita, if you can keep him from getting that arm too live, you're going to have success. This is an Arizona team that has a saltier defense than I expected going into the season. So it's a tougher matchup than we thought it was going to be back if we were talking about this game in August. But it is still one of those games. It was back then and still now one of those games you look at and go, you kind of need a dub here to be able to get that bowl eligible goal accomplished. I think it's more against the pass now. Noah Fafita can take off and get some first downs with his legs a little bit, but I don't think you're going to see the same threat with him in that sense that you've seen with some other quarterbacks against Colorado this year. Tackling, as Unc said, is a big deal. But I look at this as if the secondary plays their best game this year, if the O-line can rebound after giving up 7 sacks last week, this is a football game. The Colorado Buffaloes will likely come out of Folsom Field with a win on Saturday afternoon/evening.
Definitely going to have to defend the pass against Noah Fafita. 17 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 1,800 passing yards. So he's going to challenge that defensive backfield. 31.6 points per game, 20 points allowed. And Colorado's average is 22.6 points a game, 27 points allowed this season. And they're actually, Arizona is favored by 4.5 points, 52.5 points on the over-under. So if you guys want to bet, y'all go to mybookie.ag and make sure you get your bet on, because if you bet, you can win and get paid. You understand me? Adam, you do any betting or anything at all?
I love betting on the Super Bowl. I do like some of those props too. And I get like a whole sheet that I'll list off and be like checking them off. Like, does the national anthem go over 2 minutes? And just they're very small bets. I don't need a lot of juice to get me into it. But with Colorado, no, I got to stay away from that because I'm invested enough. I don't need that extra aspect in my body in dealing with that during the game.
You're a smart man, Adam. The extra anxiety that would cause is not worth the $50 it may bring you. So I think you're wise for that.
Uncle Neely, you said earlier, real quick before you go to your next topic, I just wanted to say that you said the defense have been in position. I'm sorry, but you said the defense been in position. The guy has always been one guy touching the running back, so they mean that the scheme is right. You just got to execute. I was just thinking that you would have been great at that position, at touching the other guy. That would have been your spot right there. You would have did your damn thing. I just wanted to put that out there. Go ahead to your next subject, Uncle. I appreciate it.
I really wasn't going to shift subject, but now I am, because I'm about to get on your ass. Just what Coach Prime said today to the D-line as we would go to practice, he don't want to see any reaching. You tackle with your feet. You go all the way to the person versus trying to reach out and grab somebody, get some kind of civil penalty, or worse, miss the damn play altogether. So I think that's just a fundamental technique thing that you got to take your feet to the person, Adam, versus trying to reach out and tackle. That can be cleaned up not only with drills, but make sure those drills translate, to the team periods, which is why what's been, working wonderfully, except for this past week at Utah, which I'm gonna put an asterisk for an anomaly there, is having these more physical Thursday practices. The players have really embraced it. The coaches have embraced it. It's raised the level of competition, and it's put a more emphasis on the details of the fundamentals in making tackles, because you're actually making tackles.
Yeah, and that translates to the game. That's why coaches do that, because they might see that team, like you said, have a problem tackling in the game, might not be as physical as they want to be in the game. So you do that in practice and hope that that's how they practice, that's how they'll play. It'll translate to the ball game. You have to risk that chance of getting an injury or something at practice for that. And I think the trade-off is worth it. Sorry, Adam, go ahead.
No, yeah, you're fine. I would say there's nothing more beautiful watching a game of football than watching a team that can gang tackle. That just it tells you so much about a football team.
Yes.
And we saw so much of that from Colorado's defense last year of just this mentality. And it goes down to leadership and discipline and preparation. And when it comes together, I love dual threat quarterbacks that can, turn off, a 40-yard run. But on the defense side of the ball, just seeing a group that plays cohesive. And it's happened at times this season. It just has not happened enough consistently. It seems more likely to happen for Colorado's defense when their kind of backs are against the wall. But if you can just see that coming out the gates on Saturday, that would be huge for the Buffs.
Tell you.
Yeah, and Coach Prime, and he was spot on when he said it. Said it in the locker room, said it to the press that, hey, congratulations, guys, you've given people the blueprint, what they should do, to make a night like tonight happen. But the thing is, and as true as that was, Adam, the thing is, when you get to this point in the season, teams have so much of their identity and their scheme that it's hard for them to just flip wholesale and do what they might have seen somebody else do that works. And so I'm not expecting Arizona's quarterback to change who he is. I think they're going to certainly look for those opportunities, but he's going to more so want to throw the ball than use his legs. So great play by the secondary with some containment by the D line and some hurries and pressures versus just worried about the sack goes a world of difference. And then if you flip that over and look at what we were facing, they were blitzing all night and they kept doing it in Utah because we didn't make them stop doing it. We didn't give them a reason to stop. This team, Arizona, coming in, they play more of a quarters defense. And I think the opportunity that's going to leave for a little check down to a running back from Salter, which only just brings his confidence up because it's a completion, and their secondary has already dropped deep. I think those kind of plays, are going to be some difference makers for us offensively.
Gonna definitely need them. I think we're ranked outside of the 100 in explosive plays on the season. So we need those explosive plays down the field, kind of like we saw Sincere Brown get thrown to from Ryan Staub in that Delaware game. We need plays like that, more explosive plays. Saw Joseph Williams catch a couple, but I think that will open up the run game a lot more moving forward for Colorado.
Yeah, and I'm coming from the and it just Providence coincidence that he's here. I'm coming from the Marshall Falk with that St. Louis offense that it's not just about the run plays for the running back; it's about touches for the running back. And I think this is one of those defenses where you can have a running back involved in the pass game, and as long as they're getting a certain number of touches and yards after that catch, it is the same outcome as a handoff. It may go in the passing yard stats, but from a what the defense has to do to stop it, changes everything they're going to be looking at it if we can be successful with it. Because like I said, one of the things with the Utah game and their blitzing, because we didn't pick it up and hit one of those check down receivers, we never put them in a position that they needed to stop doing it. And that's one of the things that your success on offense could do is it can make the coordinator on the other side say, okay, y'all, we're going to shift from that to not this because they're beating us on that. If you don't beat me on it, Adam, why would I change what I'm calling?
Yeah, no, everybody's going to try to do that going forward. We saw it after the UCLA game in year one under Coach Prime at Colorado, where that group didn't have the confidence of this group. So I know, like I mentioned, Xavier Hill going to be out this week, but you've got a much more talented, resilient group. I feel like there. I'd be really surprised if that O-line doesn't come back and have a bounce back effort, especially at home. And thank goodness it's not an 8:15 start. And I know Coach Prime has taken some flack over like his comments about we're just not as good that late at night. But nobody is, man. Like it's all for the TV ad revenue, and we got to deal with it. And it is what it is. But as a morning practice team, it's obviously hindered Colorado quite a bit. And I think there's a lot of things that are working in favor of Colorado this week that weren't last week. Now, I expected going out to Rice-Eccles Stadium last Saturday, Utah to be kind of this beaten down team after losing to BYU. It ended up being the complete opposite. It was just a total team effort and a group that had gotten a fire lit under them. And that's what you want to see from the Buffaloes this Saturday against the
Yeah.
Wildcats.
And if they were a
Yeah,
beaten down team, second play of the game, you get a 63-yard run. Yeah, you ain't beaten down anymore. You confident. You ready to go. You done, you got a shot of something nice in your arm. Now you out here balling. You think you can really win this game. You think you could dominate this game. That's what they did too.
Adam, you don't play for the Colorado Buffaloes, nor do I. Chico doesn't either. So we get to say some things that players don't get to say. We get to say some things coaches don't get to say. Where am I going with that is we get to look ahead, Adam. We get to talk about how from a football perspective, you got to take this thing one game at a time, and your next game is Arizona. But as talking heads, just throwing out our opinions, we get to kind of peek ahead. And one of the things I see when I peek ahead is that if there was a stretch of 4 games and you needed to win 3 of them, this is about the best patch on the schedule that you could have asked for that to happen. When you were facing Georgia Tech and you lost, right? And you played Houston and lost. And now you had the hindsight of 2020 and you go back and look at what they've done the rest of their season. Hell, they hadn't lost a damn game. The people that you are about to face, whether it is at home in Folsom or on the road, they've been beaten before. And so just like we can articulate that we put a blueprint out there against Utah for the world to see, they've given us blueprints because they have had some losses. And if you were sitting here going, man, I got 4 games left, I get to win 3, and 3 of those teams were undefeated, that's a much different scenario than you're looking in West Virginia's on the schedule. So take care of this one in Arizona, and you really have odds in your favor because I believe, speaking of odds, this Arizona game wouldn't be 4 points if we didn't lose by 53 to Utah.
Yeah, no, totally. And you look at it, Arizona's actually got the best defense. The Buffs, from a scoring defense standpoint in the Big 12, are going to face the rest of the season. So, and they're number 7 in the Big 12 right now. So they're kind of in the middle of the pack. Beyond that, like you mentioned, West Virginia, you're going to have Arizona State, who has not had a great defensive effort early on this season. Kansas State, I don't know, Manhattan in late November, that's always tough. You might. We're all probably going to be dealing with ice storms trying to get to that stadium, and they've gotten better as a team. But yeah, no, it's the Big 12, and it's crazy. It's up and down with different teams. And like last year, we talked about this, I think, on a couple shows ago about like where Kansas looked like a sure win at some point during the season last year. By the time they get out to Arrowhead Stadium, that's a team that's playing really well. Well, the Buffs can be that team this year. Because of the depth, and there's a lot of injuries. There's no doubt about that. But it's one of those things where you can't look at a Colorado schedule in August and go win-loss, because you have no idea how these teams are going to be. The way it is played out, to your point, is that this actually sets up for a better November than maybe we thought it was going to be going in.
Yeah.
But from a competition standpoint.
Absolutely. I like the way you put that bow on my point because that's something you didn't know in August. But I'm with you as it relates to Manhattan, the last game, which is why the emphasis for me going back to this Arizona game, if I have to win 3 of the next 4, I would rather win the first 3 than make that last one later on in November, Thanksgiving weekend, far from home. Manhattan, I'd rather take that one off the board within these first 3 wins. And hell, if you got people banged up, you can rest them for the bowl game, quote unquote. But if you take care of business now, that final one is not the one where somebody gets the opportunity to make spoiler versus if you drop this one, win the next 2, and now all the marbles are in the middle, the last game of the season. So it all starts with Arizona,
It starts with
comes to you,
Arizona. Yep. And according to this should be a good one because, like we said, according to Vegas, they have Arizona winning by 4.5, but this is a game I think based off of the college football stats that if Colorado gets into the red zone where the Wildcats have allowed 85% of their opponents' attempts to score have been scored on, if we can get inside that red zone, I think we can score, and that'll be the difference in the ball game. Arizona is a much better team at home than they are on the road, and we'll see if they travel this week because it could be a situation like Colorado going to Utah and they just didn't travel. Hopefully that'll be the case for Arizona. We get a big blowout win. That'll be one of the 3 that's needed in these Final Four.
Yeah, man, I do not want to sound, Adam, like I'm diminishing or dismissing the gravitas of the ass whooping we accepted. Like, we got beat in that game. There's just no way around that. But I do have to look at, the anomalies of the game, meaning that not only in every game previous to that, but even part of last season, these things didn't happen. So why would I expect them to happen the last 4 games? Such as, when is the last time we had a game and we didn't even give Mata an opportunity? We never got in position where it's like, all right, Mata, go get us 3. That just doesn't happen with this team. Even when the O-line sucked 2 years ago, you were still getting yourself in some position to score, thereby getting yourself in some position to get some momentum going. Never got that kind of momentum. Special teams wise with Mate, the previous games, when has Mate kicked one in the stands before? So why would I think he's going to do it, against Arizona when it's only happened 1 out of 100 times? So same thing with this O-line. This O-line has played somewhere between number 3 in the nation to number 1 in the nation for the previous 6 or 7 weeks. You get 2 of those things back out of the 3 for Arizona, you absolutely win the game.
Yeah. Well,
that's including, Adam, the not asking the quarterback to be a hero. Just do you.
Yeah. That's you. The silver lining you can take from 53-7 is that it can't be like that again. It just is not in the characteristic of this football team from a talent standpoint. What they showed, even though the first 7 games weren't up to the level they wanted, it still was a much different product. So yeah, I would agree with that. It's one of those games that makes you nervous though, because if you have a bad performance again, then things can fall apart. And so that's kind of the anxiousness, the nervousness I feel like that Buff Nation has at this point, after you kind of get over that initial embarrassment and disappointment of what happened out in Salt Lake City.
Well, when it comes to a game, the game comes down to a half. The halves comes down to quarters. The quarters come down to plays. And the greatest defensive back that the NFL has ever seen, who happens to be our head coach, all summer long, every practice has always preached to everybody, you have to have the ability to move on to the next play. And what you're speaking to there, Adam, that if somehow early in this game we're not performing well, you can't allow a repeat of Utah to happen. You have to go to the next play. And one of the things we failed to do in Utah is like, okay, as Chico pointed out, they scored the first play of the game. Cool. But we didn't say cool. We said, oh, shit. You can't put yourself in oh, shit mode. You got to put yourself in, all right, cool, let's play ball. Because you can't let those ghosts of the past haunt you into making the mistakes compound, because you start believing, well, that's just who I am.
It's such a mental game too. And, sometimes we forget that because you're just looking at these athletes that are capable of doing amazing things. But, everybody has those days where you're just not feeling it. And, it kind of catches up with you versus if you go into the day, attack it with the right mentality, you can overcome whatever comes your way. It really is.
Yeah.
You ain't lying.
It's crazy.
I mean, Adam, you look at it like from a history standpoint, and I know these are outliers because they're the quote unquote greatest to ever do it. But you can sit back and you can take a because you're in your mid 40s, I'm in my mid 50s. Chico, we don't know, but we could convince ourselves that Jordan never missed a shot or lost a game. You can convince yourself that Deion Sanders never had a big play, scored on him. You can convince yourself that Muhammad Ali never lost a fight. And the reason that is because of the way they acted. Their performance was at a level. Muhammad Ali's next fight was so much better than the previous fight he lost. Hell, you forgot he lost. Deion Sanders' next play was so much greater than the play he may have gotten beaten on. You forget he got beat. And that's that ability
to flush
it out of the mind and move on to the next thing. And that's what he's trying to get these guys to understand. Bad plays happen. Don't let it linger in your minds. You got about 2 or 3 seconds, then flush it, go to the next play.
That's it. Yep. Go to the next damn play, dog.
Easier said than done, but if you can master that, you're going to master a lot of things in life. It's one of the more challenging aspects we have to deal with as human beings, is getting past certain things that we feel we could have done better at.
Yeah, we had a couple of shows ago, and Chico could not get the word galvanized to come out of his mouth. And, he flushed it, and probably 3 shows later, he was galvanizing the sentence 5 times.
But the problem is you have a pointer that points it out every other week. So you kind of have to relive that instead of flushing it like Coach Prime said.
Film room is for, Jay. It's on film.
No,
but
you got to flush it like Coach Prime said. But
we
you always have
those. We don't flush the tape. We don't flush the tape.
We always have some players in the back that don't quite get the memo, and they keep bringing us back down. We got to get rid of those, dog. I want the ones like Big Dog Chico that's going to come in, forget last week, and play the next play and make you forget about last week. But if you got pointers like Uncle Neely, sitting back there in the back corner of the room, never sits in the front, and just laughing and stuff, that's what you get, dog. So, Adam, we appreciate you coming on, joining us, being a great part of this team. Real quick.
Yeah.
Who you having in the World Series?
I have not watched a second of the World Series, but every second that I've been at around other media members that are baseball fans, I've been asking them. I got 3 teenagers, man, and traveled back off 2 hours of sleep and doing this, that, and the other this week. But I will say, Chico, that everybody has that word they struggle with. For me, it's compartmentalize. And I've had to look in a mirror and say compartmentalize like a million times. So do that with your word, and you'll be good going forward. But always fun to be on with you guys. I don't know, the Shohei show. I got to tune in. I got to find some time to get into this World Series this year, because I feel like I'm missing out. But I appreciate you guys as always.
Appreciate that, Adam. Love that tan. Keep working on it, brother. You're almost catching up to us.
I will.
Oh my God. Appreciate you, Adam. Have a good day.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Now I got to deal with 9 minutes with Chico by myself.
Not really. Back to the shenanigans once again. Uncle Dale, Neely, Big Dog Chico. We over here live. Make sure, hey, we got the runners in here. Runners. Any questions? Any comments? Put them in the chat right now.
Let me go.
Matter of fact, let us know where y'all checking in from. We need to get y'all involved in the show also. Somehow Chico got men alive in the world. What? What's he talking about? What was that song you were singing last night? It's raining. What?
That you were singing?
Yeah, that you were singing.
I mean, singing as if I was you. Yeah.
Show us which one he was. Which one was it? How'd it go?
I said your interest song would be "It's Raining Men," is what I said.
Was there a dance to go with it?
No, that was just for your birthday. We off that.
Hey, man, I appreciate all the birthday wishes out there. Whoever took the time out to say happy birthday.
You got your Marlin over your bed at Jasmine Rice?
I actually did. And
I thought I saw a picture of that in your story.
See, another social media lesson for you guys. That was an old picture that I just happened to post just now. Went back in my phone, went back to some old archives, because before I wasn't posting a lot of stuff on my personal page. Everything was just trying to post and build up the sports page. I did that. We had 60,000 followers right now. We're gonna continue to do that, but I said I'm gonna start doing some personal posts also, right, on my personal page, and so that's what I did. And now we moving on up like the damn Jeffersons. So you'll see a lot more stuff from my personal my personal life. Put it like that, if I can get that out. Well, also, if y'all want to follow and see some, y'all type in Chico's Vlog on Facebook and you'll see some. Chico's Vlog on Facebook.
Oh, I got to follow that one myself.
Yeah, man. There's no come on there with the. You know what? We might block you. We gonna block. Hey, block Uncle Neely before he can even start.
That's okay. That's okay. And like the old folks say, you just blocked your blessing.
You gotta block.
I was gonna share you. I was gonna share your bullshit to my legit shit, but now, no.
See,
block your blessing, Chico.
That's why you blocked.
Block your blessing right there. You don't know what to stop.
Can't let Big Bro come around the corner on this one, dog. Nah, he blocked. Don't let him know we having the party around here. He gonna come over here and change the whole.
Sure would have uplifted, but now, I'm telling me and all the Uncadelics don't go over there.
That is so funny, man. I'm sorry. That was so funny. Just blocking Uncle Neely.
Don't go over there.
Hey, man, what's going on? What's next as far as what you got going on for the rest of the day?
Man, knock out a couple of interviews for behind the scenes stuff that we put out, Saturday mornings when we have an evening game, or typically we put it out on Friday if we have a mid morning game. So, working on some stuff like that, and of course, day is really done around here as far as practice goes. So, Friday will be practice team hotel, and then it's right to the game, man. We 48 hours out now.
48 hours out. Chico
Or
quoted
something
the
like that.
Jeffersons. He got to be over 46. Hey, man, hey. Getting there. All right, so, hey, usually Dukes and I'll be on at this point. Huh?
I just love and respect, man. I'm saying this from an admiration standpoint. I wish I could be more like it. I just haven't reached a point in my life I can lie so easy. I wish I had that trait. I wish I could be more like Chico, just lie that easy.
Lie so easy. All you got to do is go find you a bed, go lie down. What you mean? Because I don't tell them
Chico
lies.
speak with forked tongue.
All that. You know what? Hey, man, thank y'all for coming out. Y'all have been amazing supporting us over these 100+ shows.
Chico, you gonna do Uncle Chico tonight?
Tonight,
you
Thursday?
got softball. You got softball extra coaching tonight.
Softball off this week. So we got Uncle Chico tonight for Shiggity, for sure. If
You
y'all want
wanna
Uncle
promo
Chico,
that?
hey man, if y'all want Uncle Chico, put a hell yeah in the chat. Put a hell yeah in the chat. We'll do Uncle Chico tonight. I'm with it, Unc. You got plans?
Yeah, I had plans to do Uncle Chico, but you blocked me.
No, we got plans to do Uncle Chico. We're gonna do it. I'm ready.
You like Alicia Keys? If I ask you, you ready?
No, I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna go there.
Okay.
Shout out to Key Glock, because I was gonna quote Key Glock. I can say I'm ready, but we might take it that somewhere else. But hey, we appreciate y'all joining us on the show. Y'all make sure y'all follow that Big Dog Chico
a few times, man.
Yeah, down there in Jackson State, he came through. Right, he always supported Coach Prime. Him and
Yeah,
Dog,
here too.
RP.
Yeah, he's been out here.
That's right. Shout out to Key Glock, man. Cold young brother, smart young brother
Memphis
too.
10.
You gotta respect. I like to see these young brothers who be on their business, not just be about if this and if that, all this other stuff. I like to see the ones that's business minded, and on they ish. Ocho. Shout out to Key Glock doing anything. All right, can we close the show now? All right, thank y'all for coming out. This has been Uncle Chico on the Pregame Network for the Morning Run. Until next time, which will be tonight in a few hours, y'all make sure y'all hit the like, subscribe, comment, all the other good stuff. And I'm going to throw the pieces up because I'm going to say peace in the Middle East. Yeah, y'all.
I'm going to say
Unc, I wanted to bring you back and see what you said. You was going to say what? Dang, he was doing like this, y'all. We up at about